Hello, Math Dragons. Alright, so we're on day 7 of DPS Math 6 review packet. And they're talking about some order of operations, but then when you turn the page, they really talk about exponents, then order of operations. So I perused this work. We have definitely talked about exponents repeatedly. This is no shocker. We have exponents in our AIM notebook on several different pages. We worked on exponents on AIM 7. We worked on how exponents work on AIM 8. And then when we launched into expressions, we did another parts of a power on AIM 34. So you have a minimum of 3 reference points for exponents. I'm going to walk through the work with you. So I'm on page 401, they call it 401 here, and we are going to work these out. I'm going to show you how to do these. Five squared. I want you to remember that exponents is repeated multiplication, not repeated addition. The whole thing is called your power. The 5 is your base. The 2 is your exponent. The 2 tells you how many bases you have repeated. So 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. 3 squared plus 7 squared. That is 3 times 3 plus 7 times 7. 3 times 3 is 9. 7 times 7 is 49. Altogether is 58. 4 squared is 4 times 4, multiplied by 3 cubed, which is 3 times 3 times 3. 4 squared is 16. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 again is 27. So we are at 16 times 27, which I actually have to work out. I don't have that one memorized. $432 is what I got. Okay. Next, now we have a situation where we do have to utilize order of operations. We have to solve what's inside the parentheses first. But within the parentheses, we have to do the exponents first. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Just so you know, that's what's going to happen on the outside. On the inside of the original parentheses, it was 4 times 4 times 4 plus 6 times 6. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 again. I think it's 64. I'm going to check that really quick. Yep. Okay, so we've got 64 plus 6 times 6 is 36. I told you 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So right now I have 64 plus 36, that's 90, plus 10 is 100, so you've got 8 times 100. 8 times 100 is 800. 7 cubed means 7 times 7 times 7, that's 49 times 7, which I'm going to work out really quick. I'm going to double check that one. Yep. All right, another one with parentheses. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 is what's happening on the outside. We'll worry about him in a minute. On the inside, you've got 1 to the 8th power. 1 times itself multiple times is just the identity property repeatedly. So it's just 1. 1 plus 2 squared is 4. So I'm not going to get too fancy here because this one's not as hard. I do need to work on this. I can handle this. This is just 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. It's the other part that's more challenging. So I'm looking at really 16 times 16 here. I'm trying to make this a little bit easier for myself. 16 times 16. 6 times 6 is 36. Carry 3. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. Placeholder. Cross out what I carried. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Add 256. Let's make sure. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Yep. So what we have now is 256 all times 5, because the value inside the parentheses here ended up being 5. The value outside the parentheses was 256. So now I need to do 256 times 5. Right, I'm going to build off my work here because I'm trying to save space. 25, 26, 27, 28, 10, 11, 12. 12, baby. Okay. Moving right along. 4 cubed. So what we're talking about here is we've got 4 times 4 times 4 all happening, and then you've got 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 happening here. 4 times 4 is 16. Times 4 again is 64. I think we've already done that one. Yep, we've done that one previously. Now we need to add, see, 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 again is 125. 125 times 5, we're at 125 times 5, which would be 625. Let's see if that is true. Yep, it's 625. So we're going to add these two together. $689. Let's see if that's true. On my calculator, I'm going to do 4 times 4 times 4 plus times 5 times 5 times 5. Yep, we got it. We've checked a couple of these, and when we check them, I like to highlight them because we already put them in the calculator. So check that guy. Earlier, we already checked this guy. So you know they're solid. Okay. Here we've got 9 squared minus 7 squared, all divided by 2 to the 4th power. 9 squared is 81, because it's 9 times 9. 7 squared is 49, because it's 7 times 7. And 2 to the 4th power, we haven't already done. So 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. So we're going to take the value and divide it by 16. All right, 81 subtract 49. We're going to regroup here. We got 32 divided by 16, which is 2. 8 cubed. 8 times 8 is 64. And then we got to do 64 times 8, because that would be the third 8 in the lineup. 48, 49, 50, 51, 512. Some of these exponents are really stretched out. 3 to the 5th power plus 2 to the 7th power. I don't usually use these. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. All plus 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one would be super easy to mess up. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. So all that is 27 times 3 times 3 is 9. I'm just trying to condense it a little, so we're not trying to multiply so many numbers at once. I got 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 again is 8. So I've got 8. And I've got 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 again is 8. Times 2 again is 16. 16. So I've got 8 times 16. Right, so I chunked it. I did 2 times 2 times 2 to get 8. And I did 2 to the 4th power to get 16. So then I'm going to put those two bits together. Just like I did 3 times 3 times 3 to get 27. I chunked it. And 3 times 3 to get 9. I chunked it. So I'm trying to do little pieces at a time so that it's not an overwhelming amount of multiplication. So now I'm going to take care of 27 times 9. which is 243. I'm looking to see if we did that earlier. I'm going to test if it's really 243. It is. And then 8 times 16. Okay. So 2 to the 7th power is supposed to be 128. I'm looking for powers on my particular calculator. You might recall that I didn't bring home the other kind of calculator. It would have been super nice. Not seeing it on this calculator. I'll figure that out later. Alright. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Yep, 128. Okay, 243 plus 128. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to combine my workspace here. 371. 371. Yep. We're going to check it. 243 plus 128. 371. I checked it on the calculator for us. It's good. An easy one. 9 squared. 81. Alright, 2 to the 6th power minus 3 cubed. So we've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So basically you have 8 times 8. Because that's 8. And that part's 8. And all of that's going to minus 3 cubed. I don't know if you remember 3 cubed. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 again is 27. 8 times 8 is 64. So we've got 64 minus 27. Doing a little regrouping there. We got 37. 10 squared is 100, plus 3 squared is 9, all divided by 1, because 1 to the repeated power is still 1. So I've got 109 divided by 1, which is going to leave me 109. 3 to the 4th power. If you're wondering a quicker way to break that down, 3 times 3 is 9, another 3 times 3 is another 9. So now it's 9 times 9, which is 81, which is more manageable. Okay, 6 squared is 36. 2 to the 5th power, I feel like we've done previously on the page. Anytime I've done something earlier, I try to steal it from another problem, so I don't have to rework it out. But I am not seeing it, so I'm just going to have to work it out. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Let's see. 8 times 4. That's 32. So 36 minus 32 all over 4, because 2 squared is 4. So I've got 4 over 4 equals 1. 5 cubed. 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 again is 125. Minus 2 cubed is 8. So I am looking at 117. I'm going to check that. 5 times 5 times 5 equals 125. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. I got 125 minus 8 equals 117. Correct. Check it. Very good. 8 times 8 is 64. 6 times 6 is 36. Notice it is not adding, it is multiplying. That's going to take just a moment over here on the side. 6 times 4 is 24, 36, 38, 12, 13, 19, 2, 3, 0, 4. Okay, I'm going to type in 8 times 8 times 6 times 6. Got it. Got the answer. Three cubed is 27, plus 6 squared is 36, all divided by 9. You could cancel portion by portion if that interested you, because then you just get 3 plus 4. I think the answer is 7 already, but I'm going to work it out below minus for you. It's going to be 50. You're going to get 63 over 9 equals 7. 2 to the 5th power. I know we've done that one. We've done it. It's 32. 10 cubed is 1,000. And then 2 squared is 4. 6 squared is 36. So we've got 1,000 over 40. Which is the same as like 100 over 4. Let's work this out. Yeah, 25 times. That seems reasonable. 25 times 40 is 1,000? Sure is. That's great. Okay, 6 times 6 times 6. That's 36 times 6, which I don't know off the top of my head. I'm going to look that real quick for you. 18, 19, 20, 21, 216. Okay. So, that's the exponents. I'm going to go back with the calculator, check the rest of them, make sure that they're all copacetic before I post up that answer key for you. But that is the exponents page only. I'll work on order of operations in the next video. Thank you, Dragons.